today because I had some requests to show how I do a hidden spine in my junk journals. And it came up with the last post that I did. I had a vintage book cover and I had used some craft text to sew or to put into the spine, and sewed my signatures into that so that it didn't ruin the actual spine of the vintage book. So I hope that made sense. So I just want to show you now, and I also want to say this is not my original idea. I got this from Debbie Ann Parent, Ephemeris Vintage Garden, and I'm going to link her video below. She goes into certainly a lot more detail than I'm going to. But what I used was craft text. Okay, this is it. You can get it in bolts or rolls, and I get it from Amazon, and I always get the white. You can get it in black, in stone, and in a craft color. It is, and the reason I get it in white is so that I can coffee dye it, and it coffee dyes perfectly. It is, for those of you that don't know, it is like a paper, but it doesn't rip. It's thicker, but you can paint it. You can do anything you want really on it, and it's very very forgiving. So you can score it and bend it. You can just lay it flat and use it as an actual cover. I've done that a few times. And the other person that does that a lot is Deli Girl 1961, Cheryl. She uses craft text a lot. In any case, what I do, I'm in the process of making a book right now. So you can see where this is the craft text here, and you can see that I've just sewn my signatures into the craft text. So and just a tip for you, I always use graph paper to map out my my sewing spots, and that is so that they are always straight and evenly spaced. And I noticed there's a lot of questions about how do you get them so straight. Well, it's because I use graph paper. So let me show you. This is my December daily, and I did actually sew right through the spine on it, but you can see how straight and even the stitching is, and that's because I used graph paper to map it out. Once I've mapped them out, then I just punch the holes. You can see here I've punched all my holes, and then I use the same template and punch holes into the pages, and then they get sewn into the craft text, and then this is put into the book cover. Now forgive this book cover, it's nowhere near done in any case. So I would now just use wet glue, and the wet glue that I use right now is just the Aleene's. I've used the Scotch Quick Dry as well, and just do really nice coating here, and then it will just fit in. This is not the signature for this book, but you can see how well it fits. And then the craft text will take on the shape of the spine as well. And it's as simple as that, really. It's a really easy way to put a false spine in your book so that you don't damage the spine, say, of a vintage book. The other thing that this will do is really very nicely strengthen a weak spine. You can see with this book, it was an old thesaurus, and it was a little bit damaged here, but I have again just used craft text here. You can see it there. Then I've just put my facing paper inside, but it really helped to strengthen this. And the main reason that I use the white, I think, as I mentioned, is that I can coffee dye it, and that way it matches kind of the coffee dyed pages in your journal, and it doesn't look so out of place. So that is my quick explanation. I hope that helps for those of you who are wondering, and I will link Debbie Ann's tutorial below so that you can run over to her channel and find out a little bit more about it. Thanks everyone.